When it comes to superhero team-up movies, sometimes they don't pan out as well as you would hope. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Reeves and I like to talk about movies, and today I want to take a look at Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice. This movie was not received well, tremendously underperformed, but what I want to talk about today is, in my mind, why that happened. Why did this movie fall flat on its face? I think that links back to one core problem that created several. The biggest problem with Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice is it is an overstuffed movie that is trying to be several movies at the same time. This movie is trying to be, in what I can piece apart, three different things. It's trying to be a Man of Steel sequel, a movie that introduces the characters of Batman and Wonder Woman and hints at the existence of Cyborg, Aquaman, the Flash, and the other members of the Justice League. And it's trying to be a Batman versus Superman fight conflict movie. And those are three different movies in the same movie, or at least two. I think that this movie, it's not bad, but it's not good. It's just middle. It has a lot of good things in it, but as a whole, it's a bit of a mess. Let's talk about the Man of Steel sequel that this movie is trying to be. So, in the aftermath of Man of Steel, we have the world accepting Superman, the alien savior that he is, the symbol of hope that he is. But at the same time, there's skeptics. Can he be trusted? His power, is it too much? What are we supposed to do with Superman? What if he turns on the world? Those are a lot of really good questions, and those are a lot of questions that could be explored and go somewhere. But in this movie, they don't really go anywhere, and that's such a shame. The character of Lex Luthor is an iconic character. I don't personally like the Jesse Eisenberg version of Lex Luthor. This one's very strange. He's very psychotic. He seems like a Joker-inspired character, but he's not supposed to be the Joker. Whereas the pristine, strong, businesslike, hard-headed Lex Luthor that people know? He's not really in this movie. And one thing that I'm confused about is this Lex Luthor hints a lot at his father. So is this like Lex Luthor Jr.? It's not very cut out clear. But the point is, this version of Lex Luthor is not great, but he does have some good themes too. The best part is when he confronts Superman about facing Batman, and he says, a God that is all good cannot be all powerful, and a God that is all powerful cannot be all good. That's a really, really good, but that doesn't really go anywhere. That's just something that he's learned, that he's telling us that he's learned. He's not showing us that he learned that. And so there's a really good Man of Steel 2 in here, questioning the morality of Superman, questioning can we have Superman, questioning if Superman is a threat or a savior. And this storyline involves the Senator and Lex Luthor, but it doesn't really go anywhere. The second thing that this movie is trying to be is something that has Batman versus Superman. And the biggest problem with that is, for a movie titled Batman vs. Superman, that's 2.5 hours, we have less than 10 minutes of Batman actually fighting Superman. Sure, in the beginning, Clark Kent has a distaste for Batman and his methods, and Bruce Wayne has a distaste for Superman and his methods. So there's a versus thing going on there with just dislike for the other, but they're not actually fighting each other until towards the middle end of the movie, and that doesn't even last for a long time. I think this movie would be better titled Batman and Superman: Dawn of Justice. When you say versus and throw big superhero names in, Batman versus Superman, most people's instant thought is going to be a big fist fight, which we don't even really have. It's not even that big either. It's pretty lopsided too. I mean, sure, Superman had his good licks in, but if you go back and watch the fight, pretty much looks like Batman had it in his back pocket like the whole time. But what this movie lacks is a Batman story. This movie wants to be a Batman versus Superman, but we don't get a lot of Batman in it. I just talked about the Man of Steel 2 story that this is trying to be, But there's a good Batman versus Superman story in here, and that is Batman in the aftermath of the Metropolis attack. The beginning where we see Bruce Wayne going through and saving people, have the guy with the broken legs who becomes a pretty pivotal part of the movie later, saving the little girl, on the phone with whoever his employee is who died in the building coming down. That's really good, and I'm really interested because right there we see Bruce Wayne already has issues with Superman. He's uncontrolled, unrestrained power that doesn't have any consequences, and a power that doesn't understand the gravity of the repercussions that he causes. That is really good, and that would make for a great Batman story that we don't get. I think it would be perfect if we had a Batman story trying to uncover Superman, figure things out about him, and then we have a showdown with him. We can't have a Batman and Superman movie that heavily focuses on Batman and his problems with Superman. And sure, they can solve them at the end, but I need to have this story. So where I think this movie could be better is if this movie was two movies. Instead of going from Man of Steel to Batman versus Superman, we have Man of Steel 2, and it can be called Batman versus Superman, but a Batman and Superman conflict movie. And it doesn't even have to be in that order. The Batman and Superman conflict one could occur before it. It doesn't matter to me. But this Batman versus Superman Dawn of Justice is two pretty solid movies just smashed together and underdeveloped into one pretty mediocre film. We have a movie where Batman struggles with the idea and the concept of having an alien Superman, but by the end of it, they become the great allies and the iconic duo that they are today. And we have this Man of Steel 2 story that questions the idea of having a Superman, similar to the Batman v Superman movie that we're just recreating. But in the Batman movie, it's Batman specific and his perspective, and the Man of Steel 2 is the whole world's perspective. This is a good concept. This is a good concept for two separate films involving two separate parties, but it just underperforms when you smash it together. The last thing, the setting up the Justice League, it doesn't really work in this movie, at all. I honestly think that Wonder Woman is not needed at all in this movie. And I love Wonder Woman. I love the Wonder Woman solo film, and I like the character of Wonder Woman that the DCEU creates, but she's just not needed for this film, in my opinion. She's really only there to hint that she exists and that the other members of the Justice League exist, and just to have that really awesome fight scene at the end. But other than that, I don't really think she's needed at all. For the overall narrative that this story is trying to tell, the conflict between Batman and Superman, Wonder Woman's just not needed. She doesn't really have a place there other than the future of the DCEU. And that also reflects the files with Flash, Aquaman, and Cyborg. They're only there to hint that the Justice League is an upcoming project and that these characters exist. And this movie is not a place for those elements. Batman v Superman's MCU equivalent would be something along the lines of a Captain America sequel where we're trying to see him fit into the modern world, but at the same time we're introducing the character of Tony Stark, who he is, what he stands for, maybe not his origin story, but just that he's a character that exists. And at the same time, Thor is thrown in for a really awesome final battle, but also letting us know that Black Widow, Hawkeye, and the Incredible Hulk all exist. You see how that couldn't work, and that's exactly what Batman v Superman is doing, just for the DCEU. So all this goes to show, Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice, I don't think that it's a bad movie, but it's not a good movie. No matter how mediocre it might be at times, it is pretty entertaining. Personally, I absolutely love Ben Affleck's Batman, and that fight scene where he goes to save Martha, Superman's mother, that's really cool. That is some really awesome, visually engaging Batman fight scene. That is cool. I really like that. If the storytelling is just absolutely awful to you, the visuals, the fight scenes are pretty awesome. Even though there might not be a lot of fight scenes, when they happen, they're visually really exciting and cool to look at, which is what you want in a fight scene. This movie, it's not bad, but it's not good. It would have been better if it was just split apart into two separate movies. And I honestly think that the Wonder Woman and Justice League stuff could have been a post-credit scene. When Bruce is looking through the files and he opens the Wonder Woman one, but right before he opens the Wonder Woman one, we see the symbols for Cyborg, Flash, and Aquaman. That could have been a perfect post-credit scene. Wonder Woman exists, and so do these other heroes. And then boom, fade to black. The next movie would be Suicide Squad, but Wonder Woman and Justice League wouldn't be far after it. That's all I gotta say for Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice. It's a movie that I will watch again and again just because I really like Ben Affleck's Batman. Henry Cavill is an absolutely incredible Superman, and it's just an entertaining movie. But I definitely see why this movie failed, and I definitely see how it could have been better. And in my personal opinion, it could have been better if it was just two movies. Alright guys, that is it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. Please like and leave a comment in the comment section below. What did you think about Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice? What do you think about my criticisms of it? As always, please subscribe. Really appreciate the support. And if you want to enter the Deadpool Blu-ray and DVD giveaway, make sure you leave a comment in the comment section below letting me know that you want to enter. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.